T-Mark back again for another drive time. My handlers just got on me. Said they needed some more drive times. Okay, here is one. As always, if you can like it, you can share it. Seek first, understand, then to be understood. Never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. Let it shine bright for all to see. So let me get off into this thing. And let me explain something to you people. I've told you before that I am shadow banned. I am shadow banned because I speak the truth against both parties. I am unlike many of these other people that you see. And what do you see? They either blame and hate the left, or they blame and hate the right. I don't play that game because I have seen who is behind the curtain on all of it. Even people that I love, that love me, that are close to me, can't see it because either the truth is just too much for them to grasp, or they just will not accept that the people that they love other than myself are what I am telling them that they are, even if they look up their voting records. When I tell people about Doug Collins, David Perdue, and Karen Handel, they can't fathom it. When I tell people about what Heels Up Harris has done to black men and what Joe Biden has done to blacks in general, it's too much for them to bear. And I've told the story more than once that the way I got my mother to not vote for Hillary Clinton was by forcing her to look in the mirror. I said, Mom, you're in church every Sunday ringing that bell in the choir. I know you love God, and I know the thought of aborting one of your children was something that you would never have even thought about. I say, but yet and still you have a woman, Hillary Clinton, who believes in late-term abortion. And I played the video for my mother so she could hear the words coming out of her mouth herself. Now, even though my mother did not vote for Trump because she just couldn't bring herself to that point, and she didn't live long enough for me to get her to that point, but I did get my father there. I did get my father's wife there, whom I now call my mother, as well. I did get them there. Took some time, but I got them there because they love God. And you know what amazes me? When people commit crimes, horrible crimes, they come on my wall and start calling for the blood of those people. Hang them, cut the balls off, firing squad. I mean, it's just, now I don't know if they're Christians or not, but I'm going to assume that all of those doing that are atheists. And if they aren't atheists and are Christians, they have no clue what the Bible teaches because they have not spent as much time studying the Word of God as I have. And I know I have. I got the paper to prove it, and I know the debt that I paid to get that education. I also know the time that I have invested in understanding God's Word. Plus, I am a student of history. And with as many people that I have seen released because of the advent of science, DNA testing, that were innocent, that have spent decades on death row, and in addition to that, have been given life sentences for crimes that they did not commit even though they were not on death row. You don't want the government killing people. That is why God said for a reason, vengeance is mine. And do you think God wanted to do Moses' law? No. He gave them 10 commandments. All they had to do was follow them. He gave them the judges. All they had to do was listen. But they wanted a king. So, I go deep in this stuff. But anyway, I'm digressing. I want to talk about Dylan. But before I do that, I cannot win my race without your help. I'm just going to tell you straight up. And I'm going to say this right here. When I ran in 2014, there was a man by the name of Eugene Yu. Now, I stood up on stage because I understood where Eugene was coming from. And I would say, look, if you don't send me, don't send them back. And I was talking about David Perdue when he won his first term. Don't send them. And I was talking about David Perdue, Gingrich, and Handel, and the other folks that were running. I say, if you don't send me, don't send them. Send Eugene Yu, and I'll be satisfied. And I can go back home and continue living my life. I'm only running because I'm tired of getting shafted by those bastards up in D.C. that claim that they are conservatives. Yeah, they are Republicans, but they sure as hell aren't conservative. And David Perdue has shown us that he is not a conservative by his constitutional voting record, which is less, I think it's 57%. That's abysmal. But people believe that David Perdue has got their back, and he doesn't. Same thing with Collins. All right? So, yeah, this is why you don't see me on Fox. This is why you don't see me on mainstream media. This is why I have been demonetized. This is why you don't see me being presented to the people, because they want you ignorant, and they know that I will tell you the truth. This is why the GOP many groups will not talk about me. They don't want you to know, because I am touching. They're my guys. They are following their orders. Listen, I preached a sermon once called Seed Wars. Satan is subtle in blinding people, bewildering them, getting him to follow their rule, having people that think that they are Christians believe that abortion, well, it's a woman's choice. I mean, damn, it's my body. I mean, damn, how is the baby being ripped out of your hellhole your body? I don't even know how they began to understand that. And my thing, you are a hypocrite if you think that God is the author of life. All right, the sovereignty has sovereignty over all life, and you support the death penalty but do not support abortion. That is hypocrisy. Please don't bring up the Old Testament. I am not bound by Old Testament canon. Even Jesus, and there are many other examples, when they asked him about divorce, Jesus said, in the beginning it was not so, because of the hardness of your heart. He didn't say God. He said Moses suffered you a decree of divorce, but that ain't what God intended. Nor did God intend for the state to be the one to kill people. None of that existed. But I digress. Dylan, a child who became a man, because in many of these places, men have not been being men in defending property. Yes, TMOT, a minister of the gospel, a minister of the truth. You know, TMOT stands for the minister of truth, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to give it straight to you. TMOT, Derrick, Grayson, I, a minister of the gospel, have been telling you from the beginning, defend yourselves. You have an unalienable right, even our Declaration of Independence. For all men are created equal. Piss off, lovers of the Confederacy. All right? Piss off. You have an unalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Piss off, lovers of the Confederacy. I can't say it enough times. And for you idiots that think that my Confederate mask was in support of Nazism or the Confederacy, you are fools. Read. I got forced masking, Nazism, and slavery. The Confederacy supported slavery. Hell, they fought to keep it and to expand it westward. Nazism and their tactics, the Gestapo. And I said the mask is like, you know, if you don't have the mark of the beast. And please don't take, well, it's supposed to be on your wrist. Damn it. A likeness, a forerunner. You cannot buy or sell. In this particular case, you can't go into a store to buy with the mask on. And look, I am the guy that you want in the Senate because me being in the Senate, I help every citizen in the country. If you have access to Facebook, go to my wall and read what I just posted, and I'll give you a brief up, and then I'm going to talk about Dylan, I promise. Also, GraysonForGeorgia.com/donate. Give, help me, spread the word, because if we win, the whole country will win, because I will be exposing the bastards of DC like 90 going north, particularly those in the Republican Party. They need to be exposed. They need to be purged, because when they are gone, liberals will be able to find their way, because covertly, bad cops hide in plain sight. They have on a badge and they got a gun. Republicans, rhinos that is, hide in plain sight because they're in the Republican Party telling you that they are conservatives when they are not. And I'm talking about Doug Collins and David Perdue and Karen Handel, who are running. They should have been soundly defeated in their primaries. Tucker Carlson told you about Collins, said he should have been defeated in his primary. Said the same thing about Mike Lee. He should have been defeated in a primary because they are the ones responsible for the silencing of voices like mine. I wish Tucker would bring me on his show because I would cut loose, but Fox wouldn't let him. So, help me, help Trump, help you. Trump can't talk about them rhino bastards because he needs them. He needs them to at least promote his agenda. If he went all in on them before he won, he would have no support at all, because you know he ain't got no support from the Democrats. And yes, Doug Collins wasn't thinking about Trump when Trump first ran. But then he decided, let me jump on Trump wagon so I can help him, so I can help myself get reelected. That's what it's all about. Ask Barry Loudermilk, who damn near lost when he came out talking about Trump was wrong for extreme vetting for Muslims trying to come into this country. Trump was right. We need to know who's coming into our country. Now, I done went way off. I done talked 12 minutes. Let me tell you about Dylan. A young man, a child, who became a man by doing what many of the men in these cities ran by Democrats did not do. Probably because they elected people that won't allow them to own guns so that they can properly defend themselves. This child went out, defended himself. He dirt napped two bastards, and one who received his just recompense, who survived. Hopefully, my prayer is that he will think twice moving forward and will come into the knowledge of the Lord. I truly hope that for him. But those other two bastards, they can't change their mind. Because you see, when you are dirt napped, it's all over. You don't get a second chance, all right? Nothing for you but waiting for that righteous indignation when you stand before the throne of God and have to account for the hellish life that you have led. You know what was interesting? When I looked at all three of them, and I didn't see it at first, somebody listed all three of their names and put in triple parentheses their last name. All were Jewish. And then they made the comment, who would have thought that this guy may have been being chased down by Mossad? Well, anyway, I'm not a Jew hater. I didn't see it, didn't recognize it because I don't think like that. But then I thought about Soros. It just kind of makes you wonder. So the next time BLM, if they were receiving funds from Soros, who is Jewish, maybe they ought to hire some real gangbangers, some Negro gangbangers the next time around when they want to send them after a child. Because these three pricks, they failed. They failed miserably. My support is for Dylan. And the last point I'm going to make about Dylan is this. Dylan, do not take a deal. The only thing you are guilty of, and I'm tired of making this point, is possession of a weapon by a minor, okay? I looked up the statute. A child must be accompanied by an adult for the purposes of training or hunting. And then everybody kept saying, well, nobody should be because it violates the Constitution. Damn it, that's the law. You know, stop it. Take the win. It's a misdemeanor. Hell, California violates the conditions of or what the second lays out. DC violates it. Chicago, they violated. None of that is going to change before this young man is set to be adjudicated for what he has done. So I will take him being found guilty of possessing a firearm not in the presence of an adult for the purposes of training or hunting. All right, take the fine and go home, Dylan. And if they aren't offering anything but that, crank up the jewelry. All you need is one conservative who recognizes that this was nothing but pure and simple self-defense. And you did what God allows. You defended yourself against their attacks, dirt napping two, and giving one his just recompense. And he had a damn gun in his hand. So, y'all understand where I'm coming from. I am the guy that you want on the wall. All right, let me transfer that. Let me translate it. I am the guy you want in DC. I am the guy you want backing up President Trump. I am the guy that ain't trying to take nothing from you. And let me wrap it up with this, and then I'm going to shut up. What do I want? Sexual deviance, do you. Leave children alone, all right? I ain't mad at you. What you do in your bedroom, that's your business. Abortion, pay for it yourself, damn it, all right? And as long as I have breath, I will be fighting to make it illegal, all right? You know I am opposed to the death penalty, especially in the hands of our corrupt government, and we know that they are corrupt, all right? I am for fair taxation, same rate for everybody. I want illegals to get their asses in line and come into the country legally. I am for legal immigration. All right, these are the things that I support. I hate bad cops, and I hate rhinos, and I hate weak preachers. Preachers are the reason this country is where it is with all this madness that we see coming at us from left and right out of Hollywood and from out of DC, because they won't do what God has called them to do. And they go around and say, I'm doing this in the name of the Lord, but we know what Jesus said. Many will come after me saying, Lord, Lord, did we not do thus, this, and so in thy name? And he will tell them, depart ye from me. I never knew you. You ain't did what I told you to do. You did your own will, not mine. You just wanted to give me the credit for the half-ass job that you did. All right? The same thing goes for these politicians in D.C. Any of these Republicans are going to stand up and say, oh, yeah, I'm for the Second Amendment. But what have we seen taking place year after year after year? Ever encroaching government mandates upon our right to keep and bear arms, ever increasing spending, never anybody making a willful move towards eliminating the Federal Reserve. The only person that has been trying to get anything done in Washington, D.C. in the last 4 years has been Donald Trump. And he's been doing most of that by way of executive order. The only meaningful legislation he has been able to sign was a criminal justice reform bill. But what else has come out of D.C.? And when he first got in office, Tucker Carlson said it first. those bastards, the Republicans, had an opportunity to shut down Paul Ryan, Trey Gowdy, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. They had an opportunity to shut down the phony hoax investigation, but they did not. So, I'm going to shut up with all of that. Look, donate to my campaign, man. Keep it real. Get real. Don't let them win. Help me help Donald Trump help you. I am the guy that you want on the wall. And if you don't want to send me because I'm a black man, you don't like the way I part my hair, Annette Davis Jackson, send her instead. How about that? All right? I know she'll do the same job that I would do. Neither of us will support or stand for mandated vaccines. Neither of us will support or stand for ever increasing taxes. Both of us will fight to get rid of the Federal Reserve. All right? Those are some of the things that we have in common. We both believe in the sanctity of life in the womb. All right? So there you have it. Those of you that did give, I appreciate it. Those of you that will go to GraysonForGeorgia.com and give, I appreciate it. And this time when you give sacrificially, all right? If all you've got is $1 in your pocket, give me 20 cents, all right? All right. Hey, I love you all. Peace out. TMOT, Derrick, Grayson, whatever you want to call me. We'll holler next time.